Sometimes when you're creating a presentation, you have multiple full screen photos you want to add, and that can take up a lot of time with tedious tasks. I want to show you a simple and quick way you can add multiple full screen images to your presentation using simply Apple's Keynote on your iPad and Apple Photos. Now, here we are inside Keynote on iPad. And typically, if you wanted to add a full screen photo, one of the things you would do is go over here in the top right, and you change your slide layout to a full screen photo that looks something like this. Then you can come over here in the bottom right corner and click that plus icon. You can choose where to insert your photo from. I recommend having an album ready to go. You click on your photo and it inserts it full screen. You also can come over here on the bottom of your Apple Keynote for your iPad. From the slide selector to add a new slide, you can add a full screen photo slide just like we did, or you can just add a blank slide. Then once you're in here, you can go to the top and you can choose from this little button, this icon, to add a photo. Probably have a lot of photos ready to go, so I would grab one from an album you already have preset, and that drops it in. But as you'll notice, if it's not a 16:9 image, the same format of your slide presentation, you're going to have these bars on the side, and now you're either going to drag and resize your image to fill the screen, or you're going to have to go over on the top right here to Image, Edit Mask, and now you come in here and you will basically crop your photo to fill the screen so it's ready to go. To do that with one or two photos is not a big deal. To do that with multiple photos where you're trying to get a lot into your presentation can take a lot of time. So here is a simpler way. Let me show you how we're going to get those in, and then a few things you do to set them up to make this process so much smoother. We're going to use a feature on iPad called Side by Side. And so at the bottom of our screen, we are going to take the Photos app and drag it up here until it sits side by side with Keynote and drop it in. Now they each get half of the screen. Can work in both apps at the same time. I could go in here, choose that blank slide, and then I could simply drag and drop a photo from this album onto my slide. Again, we're going to have the same problem. It's not centered. It's not full screen. It has to be edited. It has to be resized. And so we still have a little bit of work to do. The other thing is that was one photo at a time. Here's a shortcut. You go up to the top here in Apple Photos and choose Select. Now you can drag your finger across the screen and you can select all those photos. With the photos selected, you simply grab one with your finger, drag it over to Keynote, and it will drag all those photos and drop them into your presentation, making them individual slides. But as you can see from the thumbnails, these are all needing to be edited and resized. And we have underneath them extra text boxes and things we don't want. There's got to be a better way, and there is. So in Photos, we want to work on this full screen. So we're going to go ahead and drag, instead of side by side, we're going to drag this to just be Photos. We're going to tap on the photo, and at the bottom of the screen here, these little bars are for editing. We'll tap in there. We'll go over here on the left side and choose Crop. In the top right of the screen, there's some presets when we're doing cropping. So we tap this icon. And now at the bottom of our screen, we have all these different options. We can preset how we want to crop the photo. Because we want to do a full screen presentation, we're going to choose 16:9. Now the guides come in and make the photo exactly 16:9. You can drag it around and see your 3x3 grid to help you set it up the way you want. I like that one right there. So then go in the top right corner and click Done, but don't leave here yet because you have other photos, right? So if you swipe over, next photo comes up, use that same process, over here to crop, up top, 16:9. That photo looks good. We'll click Done. We'll repeat this process for all the photos in our album until all of them have been set at 16:9. That might have seemed like a tedious process, but it was all within Photos. All you're doing was the same thing over and over again in one spot. And because of the guides and the presets in Apple Photos, it made it really easy to make sure all of these are 16 by 9. Here's where all that pays off. We'll go back down and bring Keynote back up here to the right-hand side. We're in side-by-side mode again. Now, we'll go up here to the top of Apple Photos and click Select. Then our finger will drag over and select all of our photos. Tap so they all come together. Drag it over here till you see that green icon that shows the +14 and let go to drop. Keynote will import all of those photos, and because they're already 16 by 9 format, when we look at them over here in the thumbnails or even look at them one by one, we can see they are all now full screen images. I don't have to edit anything in Keynote. It's ready to go, ready to play because of the formatting we've done ahead of time. Now you can go back through and add your animations. If you want to drop any text on top of it, you can. But if you're just walking through a slideshow and presenting, we can go in here and close out Photos. So we just have Apple Keynote open. And we can see all these great slides, full screen images that we dragged and dropped in. And now if we go in and run our presentation with a simple dissolve transition or animation added between slides, we can simply talk through this whole slideshow with the different images going full screen behind us as we present. And it was much easier to set up than doing one slide, one image at a time, no matter how many images you have. Hope that was a helpful tip that speeds up and simplifies your presentation creating process. Leave me a comment if you like this or found this helpful, or if you have any questions about other things you'd like to know how you can do more simply or faster. I'm here to help you make engaging presentations that connect with your audience. If you've got more questions, let me know in the comments. Again, if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you want to know about when more content comes out, then consider hitting subscribe. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.